Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. This is episode number 46, and today we are returning with a brand new season as Season 7 gets underway at the kickoff stadium. Today you'll see the first game of the season, a look at Preseason, and of course, as we all love them, the transfer special as well. Let's get to that first. Oh yes, the transfer special. Can't go wrong. So this was quite an interesting window. As you guys knew, we had about £54 million to work with in this window. And I guess the key message for this window that you need to take into account is that it's quality, not quantity. So we start with the departures. I'll show you what's been going on. Now, as you guys knew, Jordan I was going to lead the club to go to Aston Villa for £2 million, which he has done. So he's been put on 78 grand a week there, by the way. That's unbelievable. More than double he was getting paid here. That's a ridiculously bloated salary. I mean, Villa fans today, Friday for me, saw Nathan Baker leave. Yeah, Mika Richards is still there on 50 grand a week, I think it is. They need to learn their lessons. Stop putting English players on ridiculously high salaries that they don't deserve. But also Mitrovic as well went to Stade Rennais for £3 million, and we were totally fine with those sales. We let a couple of players go on free, a few loans as well. Julio Valdez has gone back out on loan to River for another season. Hate these Red Arrows for another year in Argentina. And Park Young-gil has now gone to Espanyol for a season's loan as well after his last spell in Germany with Frankfurt. But as for sales, only the one which you guys wouldn't have been aware of, and that's Daley Blind leaving the club and going to Lyon. Oh, Daley, I really didn't want to sell him. He was here last year, of course, signed for £8 million. I didn't want to sell the guy, I really didn't, but basically we were in the red, and I never like to be in the red, so I thought we need to cut someone out of the club, and Daley. Like, it was one of those moments where I sold him and I instantly regretted it because I wish I had him back. He's such a great player, you guys know that. I was salivating over Daley Blind when he first signed for the club, but of course he didn't really work out the way we were hoping, to be honest. He only played 8 league games, and whilst he was good in the cup and in Europe as well, he wasn't worth the 65 grand, possibly would have been 75 grand a week that he was going to be on. So Blind has gone to France. Oh God, I miss him already, but we had to sell someone, and Mr. Versatile Utility Man has finally gone. We'll miss you, Daley. Maybe you'll come back one day. Daley, I miss him already. It's only been 2 weeks in game since he left, but just one of those moments where you click on accept in the bottom right, and in the next advance you think to yourself, God, I really wish I didn't do that. But anyway, moving on, we'll take a look at the signings now. And like I mentioned a moment ago, it's all about quality as opposed to quantity heading into Season 7. I felt like we need to make some big moves, and I'm very confident that the new signings I've brought in are really going to benefit this team as well. So without further ado, let's get straight to it, and let me show you the first signing I've made heading into Season 7. And when you're starting off with a player that's been capped 79 times by Spain, won multiple top-tier competitions and European honours as well, you know you're in for an interesting transfer window. First signing, Jordi Alba. Yes, the ex-Barcelona and Valencia left-back has arrived on a free transfer after he was released by Barcelona in the summer. I thought to myself, you know, with Alba coming in, that's one of the reasons I did decide to sell Blind, because we're now stacked in that area, and Alba is such a great player. Obviously, I think it was Euro 2012. After that, he moved from Valencia to Barcelona. Was it? Well, I can figure out now, can't I? Yep. And the last time we signed someone from Barcelona on a free transfer, they didn't really work out the way we were hoping. That was, of course, Thomas Vermaelen. But Tommy didn't really get much game time, whereas Jordi Alba probably will. He'll be a backup for Josh Tymon, but he'll play a lot of Cup and European games as well, I'm sure. And he's still got it as well. He's now 33 years old. He'll turn 34 during the summer. He's on 50 grand a week on just a one-year deal, but in his contract, as you can see, he's got the one-year extension after final league games of 1-year extension after league games in the final season of 5 games, which means if he plays 5 league games this year, which of course he will, he'll get an extra year on his contract. And it's a lot of money, to be fair, for a 33-year-old who's going to be a backup left back. But to be honest, I think you need those sort of leaders in your team. I always talk about them. He's got 10 for leadership, so well done me. But you need those sort of like dressing room guys, you know. And I think like Jordi Alba brings the experience and the winners experience as well. And that's why I'm really pleased to get him here. So yeah, Jordi Alba is in, and that's the first signing. 50 grand a week's a lot, but we're now stacked in a left-back role, and I like those veterans. I really do. And whilst I love those freebies as well, all the signings you'll see from here on out are going to be quite expensive ones. Yes, second signing is the new number 1, and that's Hugo Vicari, who has signed for the club from Boca Juniors. Now, a bit of an interesting deal, this one. As you can see, he only costs us £9 million. With clauses, it could reach £17 million. It'll be £8 million once he reaches 50 league games. And he will be a backup for Raj whilst he's here. But Raj has had interest for the past like 3 or 4 seasons. We've kept him here. And this season as well, I made him captain as well now, as Ndiaye's in the final year of his contract and won't get given a new one. But Vakari could be the long-term option for the goalkeeper role if Raj ever gets sold, or just, I don't know, whatever happens, I don't know. But Vakari's in. He's 6'2", he's only 20 years old. He's been put on a very, very expensive contract though, 60 grand a week on a 5-year deal, but does have that lovely optional contract extension of 3 years as well. And he will reach 70 grand a week once he plays 30 league games for the club too. It's quite a pricey contract to pay for a 20-year-old who's yet to be capped for his country, and has also only played with Boca Juniors in Argentina, has no experience in European top-flight football. But this guy's got some really good stats already, as you can see. He's got the trio I always find mandatory on my goalkeepers: 15 positioning and 15 for one-on-ones and reflexes, but 16 for one-on-ones, 70 for reflexes in his case, and some really decent stats here as well. Eccentricity is an interesting stat. It's very, very low. Some people like it on goalkeepers, some people don't. The higher it is, as you can see here, it's the unexpected with or without the ball. The stat determines that. I always feel like the lower the stat, the more confident and more sort of like composed and reliable he's going to be. But the higher the stat, the more like, you know, unbelievable saves they make. But I always like my backup goalkeeper to have a low eccentricity rating because I feel like they're more reliable. But anyway, Vakari's in, and I think the future's pretty bright for this guy, I really do. And whilst Raj will still be our number one, and this is quite an expensive contract to pay for a backup goalkeeper, I feel as though we needed to improve this area with Payne going back to Barcelona, and Mannion would have been our backup goalkeeper for the new season. So I felt we needed a better goalkeeper for the backup role. Vakari's in. It's an expensive transfer, but I think he'll be worth it. I really do. We need that peace of mind. We need that cover. We need that reliability. So third signing, and this one sort of came out of left field a little bit, I think. Saido Berahino has signed for the club as well. Now, this was a transfer I mean, like the Daily Blint one, I sort of regretted it almost instantly. Berahino signs from Stoke for £20 million, which is mental, really, absolutely mental, to pay for Berahino's goal-to-game ratio. Hasn't been bad for Stoke per se, but does it warrant £20 million? Possibly, considering the fact we're now in 2022 and inflation is of course rising, but it could reach £27 million if he plays 50 league games and scores 50 league goals. He's most likely going to stay at £20 million because he's on a 3-year contract, and I can't see him playing 50 league games and scoring 50 league goals. But it's still quite pricey. But then again, this is the price you got to pay. I mean, you guys are seeing in the transfer window right now, you know, transfer fees are just grossly inflated and all over the place. It's now 2022 in the game, so you've got to expect to keep on rising, right? So Berahino's in. He's got some good stats, you know, 16 finishing, 16 first touch, 16 off the ball. Love that trio right there. He's still really quick as well. He's got 15 for agility, 15 balance as well. Not too bad whatsoever. His mentals could be slightly better in these areas, but not terrible per se. And really, I can't see many flaws with Berahino, other than the fact his determination is 12 and not as high as some other players in our team right now. So we can't really utilize his tutoring with a low determination. But he's still got some decent stats. He'll come in and provide cover for Donnelly and also Ruggiero as well. And I really feel like he'd be a decent little striker for us. So £20 million is a lot. 83 grand a week is a lot. I'll be honest, sir, I wanted to sign someone different, and that is this guy, Callum Clutch Wilson. But sadly, we did manage to agree a fee with Bournemouth, but unfortunately, he wanted something like 140 grand a week, which was mental. And I tried to get it down to like what he's on now, 66 grand a week, 80 grand a week. Could have gone up to 80 grand a week. But his agent kept on saying like, it's got to be first team squad status and like 120 grand a week minimum. And I was like, well, just forget it then. He's not worth that. And as much as I would have liked Callum Clutch Wilson for the nostalgia feel, I felt I'm not going to pay that sort of fee, so just forget about it. So instead I signed Saido Berahino. To be honest, I probably got the better striker. I got the younger striker, and I got the striker who I think had a slightly better goals to game ratio in the Premier League as well. So Berahino comes in. It's an expensive transfer. I'm not sure he's worth the money, but I feel like we need to make these sort of major moves now if we are going to be a team that consistently finishes in the top 4 and makes strides forward in Europe as well as domestic football as well. So Berahino's in. Expensive, probably not worth it, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Alright, so 2 expensive transfers there in Vakari and Berahino, 2 backup bench players and also 1 freebie as well. I've only made 1 other signing as well, and like I said, it was all about quality as opposed to quantity. You've seen 3 good players. Now let me introduce you to the face of Hull City down the left-hand side for many years to come. Welcome to the club, Luis Miguel. Oh my, now the ceiling is very high for this youngster, 21 years old, Spanish left winger, and I've got to say right now, we've got an absolute steal. Now this this guy looks to be an unbelievable player. He's now valued at £27.5 million. We got him for £20 million, 50 million initial fee, 5 million over 48 months, I think it was, from Espanyol. And whilst he's not exactly set La Liga alight whilst he's been in Spain, he's played 120 games already, got 15 goals and 15 assists for Espanyol and also Eibar and Getafe on loans. And this guy has got some really, really great stats. Now, of course, with Hull, we go down the wings quite a lot. We whip the ball in. This guy's a left-footed player. Will play on the left-hand side. He's got the stats in all the key areas. And as you can see by the highlights right here, look at this right now. 17 acceleration, 17 agility, 17 pace, 15 stamina, 17 crossing. Absolutely love that. Dribbling's 13, not bad. 14 first touch as well. Technique's 14 too. I'm a little bit concerned about the lack of work rate and teamwork, which is really, really poor for what we want to do with our wingers, you know, supporting the team and constantly bombing up and down those flanks. But I think we can live with that when you look at those technicals and you look at those physicals as well. He's got a knock the ball past opponent trait as well, which is really, really handy for a rapid winger with good end product too. Take on a fullback, skin him, and then whip the ball in. I think he's got some unbelievable stats, and I think this is an absolute bargain. We fought for Atletico Madrid to get him. We put him on 80 grand a week on a 5-year deal. It's quite a lot of money. It's quite a lot of money, but I think he's going to be worth every single penny. And if you remember last season, when Willy Olivier was on fire down at left-hand side, we were on fire. Then he got injured, and we struggled towards the end of the season and really lost our rag a little bit. With Luis Miguel, we now have Olivier as a backup option for the left wing role, and this guy will be the first choice, new number 11, since Jordan Iber's gone. So I think this is an unbelievable signing. I think it's an amazing deal. He was valued at £3.1 million, by the way, at Espanyol, and I actually kind of regret putting in £20 million initially because I think I could have got it cheaper. The first bid I put in was £15 million initial and 5 million over 48 months, and he accepted it straight off the bat. So they might have accepted like £10 million for the guy or something stupid, but he's worth more than that anyway. He's worth more than what we paid, so that's what matters to me. And I think this guy's got some brilliant stats, and I think he's going to be an absolute boss down that left-hand side, and prove to be a really great acquisition. So in the end, as you can see, we spent £49 million on just 4 new players, but expensive transfers. You know, of course, apart from Jordi Alba, which is free, he's still on 50 grand a week, which is quite a lot of money. Vicari, £9 million initial fee, and £8 million once he plays 50 league games, so that's quite pricey. 60 grand a week as well. Obviously, Side Berahino on 83 grand a week. I think he's now the second highest paid player here at Hull, which is stupid, really, considering the fact he's still our third choice striker. £20 million, could rise £27 million, and of course, Luis Miguel as well, £20 million, 15 initial and 5 million over 48 months. That's an awful lot of money. They're all on expensive contracts as well, but if we want to make strides forward, this is what we've got to do. We can't just keep on, you know, bringing in those young players and developing them on low salaries and just hoping for the best. We need to start splashing the cash around now. That's what we've done, and I think because of that, we're going to see the benefits. So when you take a look at the team report, this is what we have to see. We've got more strengths and weaknesses, which is fantastic. We've certainly improved the squad in terms of depth as well. There's no doubt about that, at least in my opinion. I know we've lost Mr. Versatile in Daley Blind, sold Jordan Ives, sold Mitrovic as well. But in my opinion, the squad has got much better in terms of depth now, and we look much healthier. I would still like a new winger as another backup option there as well, because all we've done really is just replace Jordan Ives with Luis Miguel, which is a step up, of course, but still, I'd like a new backup winger, maybe someone on loan. But for the most part, the squad has definitely got more depth to it, at least in my opinion. I think it's looking a lot better heading into Season 7. I'm very confident this year. I really, really am, and I'm liking what we currently got right now. Now, as for pre-season, what happened? Well, as you can see, we had a really successful pre-season, won every single one of our games, apart from 2, where we drew with Paris Saint-Germain 3-3 in pre-season, and also lost to Bayern in the kickoff Cup final, a little cup I made after penalties, where we missed every single penalty, funny enough. We missed all 3, and Bayern converted all 3, so the cliche, English can't take penalties, Germans can. That was certainly true for that pre-season final. We were awful, and we wrapped it up with a 7-0 victory over Hull United. I do like to do that. I don't know if you guys do it as well. I think it's more of an American thing. I think they do it with the NFL teams as well. I don't watch the NFL, so American football fans, feel free to correct me, but I think the NFL teams do it quite often. But before their first game in a new season, they take on like a local like grassroots team, and they absolutely thump them to get the testosterone flowing and get them really pumped up. So I thought that's what I'm going to do in Football Manager, and I try and do it like every single season now. The last game has to be a game where we batter our position and just sort of get the juices flowing and get everyone fully pumped up. Get the testosterone flowing. What am I talking about? Seriously. But anyway, as you can see, the team now looks like this, and it's looking good. You know, it's looking really, really good. And like I say, I do believe there's more depth to the team this year. We promoted a couple of players to the first team now, such as George Rodriguez here as well. And I thought I also promoted Brian Reed, but maybe I didn't. Still, 23. That's fair enough. But either way, I'm liking the team anyway. I'm liking liking the team a lot, and I'm really confident that going into the new season, we can finish in the top 3 this year. Now, once again, our expectations are the exact same as last year. Qualify for the Europa League, reach the first knockout round of the Champions League, 6th round of the FA Cup, and the quarterfinals of the EFL Cup. Remember, last season, we hit all of our objectives and exceeded the league as well. In fact, I think we exceeded all of our objectives, didn't we, last season? I think we might have done. Or did we? No, I think... Yes, we did. We exceeded all of our objectives last season. So hopefully, we can do the same again. And even though qualifying for the Europa League is our Premier League objective, this season I'm hoping for a top 3 finish. The last 2 years, we finished in 4th place. We took steps backward last season in terms of points, but not in position. So heading into the new season, I'm targeting that top 3 finish. United are so dominant right now. I think they'll be crowned champions once again. They've once again got off to a winning start, beating Arsenal 4-1. But if we can finish in the top 3 this year, keep on taking those steps forward. That's what I'm hoping. Got to finish in the top 4. That's a minimum expectation for me, but I want to finish in the top 3, and I believe we can this year as well. So that's basically that. I think that's basically that. So let's dive straight into the first game. Yeah, sorry, one thing before we move on. The World Cup was won by France, by the way. I said in the last episode I'd come back and show you who won it. It was France, and also interesting enough, Sonogo started the World Cup final for France, our representative that won it. He also was in, where is he? There he is. He also was in the team of the competition too. So Mamadou Bad Boy Sonogo with the team of the competition, and in the semi-final, do you want to point this out real quickly, in the semi-final against Germany when France won 4-3, he actually scored the winning goal for the team with his first goal for the country. Let's watch it together. I don't know whether you guys are the same as me, but when your players play on the international stage, I often watch the goals if they score. It's really bizarre, I know, but I like to see it, and this is the winning goal in the World Cup semi-final. A bit nerdy this, I know, but I was like, oh yes, get in, that's my player. And then I was like, yeah, they're just dots on the screen, mate. It means nothing. Calm down, you stupid loser. But anyway, that's basically that. And one other thing to report as well, I did briefly mention it. Alfred N'Diaye has lost the captain's armband heading in to the new season. He was actually supposed to leave to Los Angeles, and if he did, I wouldn't have sold Daily Blimp. LA put in like 4 or 5 bids for the guy, and they kept on coming back from him. Are they still interested? No, they're gone now. But they kept on coming back for the guy. I kept on accepting bids, and in the end I got £2 million, the biggest bid I got from Los Angeles. But every single time, they offered him a contract, but they failed to sign him due to squad registration rules. Yet they kept coming back every single time, and I was like, well, either you know, let him be part of your squad or don't bother offering a contract, because he never goes and it just worsens his morale. It's really annoying me. But N'Diaye's staying anyway for his final year for the club, but he has lost the captain's armband now, and that has gone to Rajkovic, and the vice captain, sorry, I know it's Rajkovic, I know you guys pointed out, but I like to call him Raj, but Raj is now our captain, and the vice captain is now Mamadou Sonogo as well. So that's our new captaincy, captain and right-hand man. And N'Diaye's lost his, and he might lead the club anyway, as there is interest from 4 clubs right now, whilst his valuation continues to drop. So that is that. I'll show you the schedule, the competitions, team report. Is there anything else? Maybe the staff. I've improved my scouting team, by the way. Went out to 3rd best in the league for judging ability and potential as well. And yeah, I think that's basically that. So should we dive straight into the first game? I think we should. Let's do it. So, yeah, one more thing. I always forget these sort of things. The Champions League playoff is against Sporting. We're away in Portugal for the first leg. I'll play it off camera, but I'll return for the second leg, which will be at home at the kickoff stadium. And hopefully, like last season, we'll get through and make it to the group stages. And this is Sporting's team, by the way. Quite a few good young players in there, I must admit. But I'm fancying our chances. I'm fancying our chances of moving through to the group stages. So, first game of the new season, we're playing host to the Canaries as Norwich come and take us on at the kickoff stadium. And this will be the team for the game. We're sticking with the 4-2-3-1 as ever. Usual instructions, as you can see: short passing, higher tempo, control, start, mentality, and just knock the ball around and look to work the ball into the box. And this will be the team for the game, and probably for the majority of the season as well. Raj is in goal. It's back for retirement: Demos, Sonogo, and Torre. In midfield, Kirkpatrick and Malonas. Further forward, Luis Miguel making his debut. Lecco on the right, and Saidi as our advanced playmaker. Donnelly leads the line, and on the bench, Vakari, Keane, Balut, Barkley, Olivier Berahino, and also Ruggiero as well. So first game is against Norwich. Let's get the win to start the season off. Come on, Hull City. Just trying to think about a record in opening days. I know we've lost 2, or is it 3? We lost, is it 2 or 3? We've drawn 1, because we drew last season against Chelsea. We won on the opening season against Everton. We also beat Reading, so that's 2 wins. Yeah, it must be 3 losses then, and 1 draw and 2 victories. So hopefully another win here, and that'll mean we've got as many wins as many losses on the opening day. And I'm hoping Luis Miguel has a good debut as well, because I've bigged him up, and it's about time. Well, I say it's about time. It's his first game. It's going to be mandatory that he has a good debut season for us, really, and he proves he's worth the money we spent on him. Still, first highlight here is Tymon's cross is deflected. It comes to Donnelly, who chips to the back stick, and Lecco hits it at goal, but Areola claims it very easily. Don't know why Donnelly didn't shoot there. I know it was a tight angle, but I would have trusted him to score rather than cross it, and it's still 0-0. Good to get the first chance, but other than that, not much to report. Still right on cue, corner for us. Luis Miguel takes it, and it's headed back to our number 11 with that 17 crossing stat. This time knocks it through to Saidi, and Saidi finds Kirkpatrick, and Willie on the ball, looking for a teammate. Might go back towards Josh Tymon, perhaps. There we go. And the left back now on the ball. Still Tymon. Great work from Tymon, and now finds Malonaz, and back towards Josh Tymon, and now Saidi. Can we get a chance here? Saidi comes inside to shoot and scores as well. Squeezed it in, and we do take the lead. We've dominated in the stats. First chance, Saidi's gruesome hair, lovely to see, and it's 1-0 to the Tigers. Get in. Top 3, baby, that's what we're going for. Top 3 this season is what I'm after. We have to finish in the top 4, that is mandatory, no doubt about it, in my opinion, but top 3, I'm aiming for that. We should be finishing in a higher position this season. We've got the squad, we've got the team, we've just got to perform, and that's a good way to start the season, going 1-0 up, and as things stand, looks like that'll be the first half score, and we're doing okay. Let's keep it up. We do seem in control of the game right now. We dominated possession, which is what we like to do, 63% of it, and Norwich have only had 1 shot, and that's 1 on target. Other than that, they've done nothing, but this is fine for me. I mean, it's only a 1-0 scoreline right now, which may not sound amazing, but I like these sort of games where you just control it and play it at your pace, dictate tempo, knock it around, and eventually pounce when you need to. So still 1-0, and I'm fine with this, totally fine with it. And there is a highlight here directly after that as Toure gets to the loose ball and finds Lecco into the Canadian. Lovely ball by Malone as out wide towards Toure, who can possibly cross to the middle. And there is Donnelly to tuck it home for a goal in the first game of the season. Brian Donnelly's lost the nickname. We'll never refer to it again because he's not anymore. He's not anymore. And it's 2-0 to Hull City. Really good finish there after Toure's cross. We go 2 goals up. It's those low crosses across the ground that are the best. And Donnelly makes it 2. And that's surely the points in the bag now. So I've taken off Luis Miguel. Sadly, he's done nothing on his debut. Bit of a shame, but as things stand, we're going to win. That's the most important thing. But Norwich are looking to get back in the game here with Seferovic, our former player, finding Willian Jose, who was through and onside, and somehow missed from about 10 yards. Terrible, terrible miss. Still 2-0, and that will probably do it. But there is another highlight, and once again, it comes to Norwich there. Trying to get a late rally started here. I feel like time is totally against them though, as Boskin plays it long. Willian Jose flicks it on, and Seferovic, oh, what a save by Raj. Almost came back to bite us in the backside there, but a really good stop by our new club captain. Keeps it 2-0. And another former player for us, Jonathan Dos Santos, whips the ball in, and Barkley heads clear. Still 2-0 to Hull, and I'll tell you what, Norwich had a couple of golden chances here late on in the game, but sadly for them, but good for us, spurring them both. And that should do it then. So final score, Hull City 2, Norwich 0. We're going to win on the opening day. It's our 3rd in 7 opening days, and I am just delighted with that. And funnily enough, little trivial moment here, all 3 wins have come with clean sheets as well. Not really that of an interesting fact, that one, but still. There we go. So 2-0 to the final score. We get the win. A winning start. And again, this season, we've got to finish in the top 3. Started off the right way. That's the most important thing. And now we've got to keep going. So that will end today's episode of the Football Manager series, guys. Hope you have enjoyed the first episode of the new season. If you have, then please do consider leaving a like. I haven't done a double episode upload day of Football Manager, I think, at all in this series. I don't think I have. So if we can get 1,000 likes on this video, then I will go ahead and upload another episode later tonight. In fact, what I'll do is I'll do the sporting game, because that is going to come tomorrow in the next episode. And we'll do, how about, I'll tell you what, as a really big reward, how about Liverpool, Chelsea and Sporting in the next episode. And if we get 1,000 likes, I'll upload it later on tonight. So there you go. Next episode can come tonight if you guys want it. 1,000 likes, and we'll do Liverpool, Sporting and Chelsea in a big triple header as we begin season 7. So thanks for watching. Please, if you enjoyed the video, 1,000 likes for the next episode tonight. Much love to you all, and hopefully I'll see you for the next episode later on.